Good afternoon, Scotties. Mr. Hill here with our weekly writing lesson. So for the past several weeks, we've been talking about nouns. So now this week, we're going to work on making these nouns plural. Now there are a few rules that you need to follow to make nouns plural. First of all, look at the ending. If it ends in S, CH, SH, or X, you simply add ES to the end. If it ends in Y, you drop the Y and add IES. And if it ends in F, the F becomes VES. So let me show you a few examples of how to make nouns plural. So let's look at the word tail. Let's look at what it ends in. Let's see, it doesn't end in S, CH, SH, or X, or Y, or F. Well, then this one's the easy one. We just add S to the ending of it. And you get tails. Now, let's look at bench. Oh, I see a CH right here. And if it ends in CH, then what do? We add ES, and now we have the word benches is the plural of bench. Now let's look at puppy. Puppy ends in what? Y. So when that happens, you drop the Y and add IES, and now our word is puppies. All right, now here's a fun one. It ends in F, and I know we hear about these things around the holidays. Elf, elf on a shelf. I know you guys have heard of that. Now, elf. What do you do with elf? It ends in F. So you drop the F and add VES. So now it becomes elves. Now, let's go over to this side. Let's look at tree. Tree doesn't end with any of our special endings, so you just add S, and it's trees. Sister, same thing, doesn't have any of those special endings, so it's simply S. Chick, that's a K that it ends in. It's not any of our special endings up here. So again, you just add S. All right, now box. Oh, there's the X. So when it ends in X, you add ES. And it now becomes boxes. Pond is also not up here. A D is not a special ending. So you just simply add S. And you have ponds. Okay. Now that we've made a couple of plurals, or a few, more than a couple, we've made a few plurals up here. Now let's go down and see how these might look like in sentences. And for 2 days, you will have sentences where you will have to tell me if it ends in S, ES, basically if it's plural or not, right? So, before you decide, first read the whole sentence with both of the words. So let's try this first one. I see kite in the sky. Think about it. Does that sound right to you? I see kites in the sky. Oh, that most definitely sounds correct. So, circle it. Because if it were kite, it would be I see a kite in the sky, or the kite in the sky. We don't just say, I see kite in the sky. Now, number 2. The poppy grew in the garden. The poppies grew in the garden. Well, this one, they both kind of sound correct, right? But you have to think about it. What are we talking about this week? Plural nouns. So the poppies grew in the garden. And for those of you that do not know what a poppy is, it's a flower. Now, number 3. Ducks swim in the pond. Duck swim in the pond. Which one sounds correct to you? Ducks or duck? It would be ducks, because were it singular, it would be the duck swims in the pond or a duck swims in the pond. Now the last one. We saw fox at the wildlife preserve. We saw foxes at the wildlife preserve. Foxes is what it's talking about, because if it were fox, it would be we saw a fox at the wildlife preserve or the fox at the wildlife preserve. We don't say we saw fox at the wildlife preserve. So boys and girls, this ends this week's plural nouns lesson. As always, if you need any help or you need to get in touch with me for any reason, just let your parents know and have them send me an email, a text, or call me during my office hours. Thank you, and until next week.